Welcome. This is a reading for Jennifer's Tarot Positive Free, a wonderful reader if you haven't already visited her. So this is a personal question to her, and this is on Patreon. And anyway, it's always good to do a reading for other tarot readers who are fantastic on YouTube. So Jennifer's already asked me a question, so I'm keeping that in mind. Right, so we're going to do the Celtic cross reading today, because it was a question, it wasn't a general aspect of a month. So, underneath we have Ten of Earth, the Ten of Earth. So this is your overall influence from the whole reading. So generally, regarding your question, things are okay. I think with your query that friendships, stability and a common bond is definitely on the cards here. Let me read further into that. So, we can notice within this card that there are a few paired cats here. In that 10, which is always nice. There are some alone, and there's one here that's aspiring, a little bit grey, a little bit dreamy. So I'm going to relay these kind of aspects to the whole reading in your query. So let's have a look. So if I put that there, you'll probably be able to see it. Hopefully. I've got something. Right, so this is you at the moment. Cat magic. So within yourself, this is the creativity of the situation. So let's have a read about that. So I don't think there's any particular harm in the particular query. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting question. So I'm just trying to fit it in with you. So this is you in the placement of you. So you want to create a lot of magic within your life, a lot of aspects that will come to fruition, whatever that word is. It's all about paying attention to what's real and not what's illusion as well, because magicians can be very into illusion as well. It's also saying when you focus really well on your energy and get it right, because if you know all the magicians of old, I'm just trying to look for the white rose in this. It's not in this cup. I've got a red rose, but not a white rose. That's a bit weird. Okay, if there's no white rose, I can't see it anyway. Right. So with all magicians, what happens is they have to learn the tricks of the trade. So an understanding is quite essential, and focusing on what is essential is correct. So not only focusing on yourself to be that pure essence when creating magic. The reason why I was looking at the roses is that there's a red rose but no white rose. So this just means there's more introverted energy surrounding this query. So it needs to come to light. It needs to maybe put that action. And you can see this cat is focusing on the energy here, the fire, which is all about action. So maybe going inside is the action taken to look at yourself here in your crystal ball, to really wonder why this query is there in the first place. Only you know about that, but it does look at, if you look in this particular deck, all the symbols, all these magic symbols of what's going on, and it just says if you connect all that learning ability, it's going to give you your answer to why that is. Obviously there's something within your heart down here with the cup that needs to be released. All this needs to mix up and then poof, flown away. So it is a very yin card at the moment, very inside. Things are working on the inside, and hopefully we can just release that, but we'll have a look. We'll look further. So basically it's about, are we creating our own thoughts? And here we go with the sea Tom. Maybe we are. So here with the Sky Tom, that's very much the Knight of Swords for your information. And the Sky Tom here, oh no, I think it's, oh, yeah, it is. Sorry, I was just, I did an Earth Tom. I went flying in the past. So with the Earth Tom here, they're doing their nature and trying to catch the bird, which is the bird trying to get away, with the flight's the aspiration. So the thoughts process needs to be let go of, really, of the past, which you kind of know, but it is very hard to go against nature, as this particular Sky Tom is doing. When cats are an earth creature, they are going to go into the air, but that's with the aspiration of thoughts, etc. But I always see this particular card as thoughts going into the past, and that's a kind of aspect which is in this query. It's kind of what kind of thoughts are going into the past to kind of allow you to stay stuck. So as you can see here, it's all the darkness and going into the light, which should be reversed. But whether this thought goes and escapes. So if we apply that to your question in time, what are they trying to do? I'm going to have to sum this up at the end, because this is basically your energy, and then we'll sum it up in a conclusion, basically. So down here is the subconscious, and this is how we got the Sky King, but it was in reversed. So the Sky King here, you may be feeling frozen out of the equation, and because it is reversed, just to remind you. So there's a lot of things that need to be rediscovered. The Sky Tom is very comfortable there, but it just shows you perhaps you're not comfortable in the thought process of this whole wonderment question, and wondering how to get out. So with this Sky King, it is a winter scene which is all about reflection inside. So I would really come to the conclusion that one has to be reflective over this situation, and kind of just let it go, simply because you're always going to feel left out in the cold and not privy to the information when you know things are happening around you. It's hard to say when we're on live, well, on camera, but so one needs to turn this on its head, on the right way, and be king of your thoughts, be the champion of who you are. You see this necklace around the cat's head, and it's over the heart, and that's a diamond. So it's like, shine from your heart, reflect what is inside. You are a great person. It doesn't matter about X, Y, and Z, those people around you. They're dead. They should be dead to you, or at least sleeping. Let sleeping dogs lie, so to speak. That's what's going on there. Right, here in the slight past, you've got Six of Earth. Six of Earth. So this is a great card to give and take in the situation. So this is in the slight pass of the balance between giving and the balance of receiving. So it has to be equal. So if this particular person that you're querying about isn't particularly giving, and they just take, especially from, maybe they're trying to gather information, maybe they're trying to just understand things, you know, I mean, they always come across as a bit of a weak person anyway. So that weakness is a sign of they'll never be strong in themselves at the moment, and until they can stand on their own 2 feet, and still until they can see the possibility to give to themselves, to own who they are and be responsible, then nothing's going to, their learning experiences is nowhere near as yours. Like, I'll show you as an example. You're the magician, so you can create everything that you want, and they're that, oh, I'm very poor, can I have a scrap please? So I can create exactly what I want, even if it's gold, diamonds. I'm very poor, can you give me something? It's miles apart, and this is why one should be moving away from even putting thoughts into it. To me, it's not worth it, but to you, it obviously is, which is the main thing. This is important to you, and until one can move past it, it's important. So we understand that, definitely. This little cat, at least it's created the magic. Right, let's see what's the head of the matter. Earth Tom. This is another great card to take action into bringing back who you are. The Earth Tom here goes away and tries to bring back its little family, and this little kitten strayed across the line, and Mr. Tom here goes, yeah, I'll take you back home, that's no worries. So this is an indication, perhaps in the subconscious, to where you where is your practicality, where is your stance, in this? What is your investment, so to speak? Are you investing in more pain and more sadness and just coming against the wrong kind of magic, as in, you know, dragging yourself down for no reason? Or perhaps are you bringing yourself home to that love factor and just growing a fantastic field here of abundant tree here, tree of life, beautiful place, and that's why I'm coming home? Or are we still being frozen out, because remember, that was upside down and all these people are dead to you, kind of? Does that make sense? Right, so bring yourself back home, see the value in yourself, take action in the value of yourself, and things are going to go a lot better. And then we're going to go to this Ten of Pentacles aspect, where you can have many friends, good relationships, and everything is abundant and happy. Yay! Oh dear. Right, another card a little bit upside down. So you've got the Strength card here, and yes, it was upside down. I can never do that on camera. So there's a cat with its strength, and there's the birds around it. So normally the cat would bite the birds or play with the birds or whatever, but this cat's strength is in the stillness and the ability to make friends, even though its very nature is to bite. Now, this was upside down. So the strength of character that normally you would have inside you is annoying. It's like all these little thoughts, are going, hey, have you thought about this? Oh, I wonder what's happening here. Oh, help. And you can see here it is like the fountain of youth, the fountain of self-love, and there's one little thought in the distance going, I love myself, I can free myself. And then there's these going, hey, what's happening here? What's happening there? What? So, because it's upside down, you see, these thought processes are nagging you, and then it's just not necessary, because at any moment now you're going to bite them. So we need to turn this card up the right way and see the strength of character of being gentle and self-love. Because if you look at it that way, and the fountain is upside down, all that water's going to drain, and you know water is emotion, and you know water is to do with your love heart. So you need to turn this upside down, find the strength of character to allow these to be friends. Change the thought process, change the way this self-love, drink from the fountain of youth, and be strong in yourself. Be that in, again, this is black, so it's yin, and seeing the sight, just being gentle and strong within yourself with that kind of question. It's not answering your question, I know, but this is what it is. I'll try and sum it up at the end. Right, so the floating cat is the Hanged Man, Jennifer. So with the floating cat, they've had a bit too much catnip. So, I mean, that's quite good. It's not very harmful. It just makes them go all funny and loopy. So if this card is seeing how you are at the moment, not saying that you're loopy, but it just means to really connect with a spirit vision, so to speak. If you were to go in a spiritual vision quest, what would come out? What would come out? That's the question to you. Would you be bigger than yourself? That was upside down. Are you creating what you want to create, or are you still draining yourself perhaps mentally, and it's causing a lot of other issues perhaps? Because one thing is for sure, with this card especially, this card and even this card, bringing yourself home, finding new friends, new way of adapting, who are on the same path as you, and just not being, that was upside down as well, and not being frozen out so much. So this is an important card to maybe get some catnip and have a good time. Just put the kettle on and really sit there looking out at nature and thinking, so simple. Yeah, I know exactly what to do. I know what I need to do. I should have done it ages ago, but yeah, I'm going to do that in another 10 minutes perhaps, while I'm sitting nicely and peaceful with my catnip. So let's see what else is going on. That was upside down as well. Oh, you're not going to like this. Right, so this is the worst devil eye I've ever seen in my whole life. So it was upside down. So this is the demon cat, and a demon cat is, so I'm not going to show it too much. I'm going to put him back upside down so I can see him. So by the very nature, cats do like to kill things, stun things. Maybe the bird's just stunned. It's still got his eyes open, so everything's all right here. But the demon cat here, by its very nature again, just does things that it does, except if it trains itself. You know, all things that fly around me aren't always annoying. But unfortunately it has. Now this is upside down. So this is kind of telling me, if you're not going to do the very nature of who you are and exterminate the bird, the thought, then it's still going to bother you. So the thought, if it was that way, yeah, I've extended it, I've let go of it, that's fine. But because he's upside down today, it's like you need to exterminate this bird. You need to exterminate that thought. That is the nature of thoughts. If we have the negative thought, it's still going to be there, because it just likes to, that's the nature of the mind. And demon cat needs to do that. So because it's been upside down and not seeing the situation fully, or not releasing it, it's going to nag you to death. Well, not to death, but it's going to keep nagging you. So that's important too. After all, the sky toms here, with the bird, chasing the bird, and maybe you feel like you can't catch it because you don't know what's going on and why it's going on. But the why and the what for, it probably shouldn't really matter, especially if we're still being frozen out about the situation. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to bring our situation home and see the value of ourselves, or are we still going to not kill the bird? You know, that's a kind of aspect. So now we have the Seven of Sea. Seven of Sea here is this lovely cat chasing the emotions, having a look at them and wondering what they are, and think, hold on a minute, I can't see that, I can't touch it, it just bursts in my face. So the emotional attachment that you might have here is not really real, and you perhaps somewhere know that. You've just got to believe in yourself that you're the magician, and you're creating certain aspects that may or may not be there. So with the Seven of Sea here, just having a look at the reality, that those images, they can just come and go, and they can float off, and they can burst, and they're only very small. So if you can make these memories to be smaller and smaller until they do pop and just disappear, you know, it's not needed anymore, and to find something that is solid. These bubbles, they're like little crystal balls, but they're not. So if you find your own crystal ball, which is solid, that's far better than a bubble. So I'll tell you what is solid. The Earth Tome, that is definitely solid. Seeing your future, bringing back home your richness, that is solid. These bubbles, I'm afraid, are not solid. Right, to end your reading today is the Fire Kitten. So the Fire Kitten here is all about learning about the fire, the curiosity of what could be. So this kitten touches the fire and then gets burnt sometimes, but it's just in a timid way until it learns what it is. So learning about love and relationships has been a good learning experience for you, and relationships in general. But the flame of life is in you, it's not on the outside. So the creating of the inside is really important. How long will that flame last? So that on the outside is always going to be temporary. And if you light your flame of your heart and your life, you're really going to keep that flame alight. It's not going to be burnt out, touched out, extinguished, or whatever. On the outside it can be. You can see the kitten playing with the flame, and that'll go out. That flame has gone out. Unless someone lights it again, it's out. Your flame on the inside will not burn out. Your flame will not burn out until you physically die. But then again, your flame is going to go on and on and on. Very zen. But let's look at it on the outside. The flame on the outside could go out. This kitten is showing you, extinguish the flame. Put it out. So the basis of this reading here, you've probably picked it up, but I don't know. It just depends how quickly you want to go through your stuff. Because as a reader yourself, you know you're into helping yourself. You know you want love. You know what you want to grow as a person. You help so many people that it's always with readers. When people are reading for other people in life, they're generally learning about themselves as well. So one of the aspects is to maybe learn about yourself. And it's clear to me what needs to happen, but it might still not be clear to yourself what's going to happen. And that was upside down. So this was your overall card reading. The Ten of Pentacles, which is a complete happy situation. So it can continue to be happy, and you can continue to grow in your own tree of life Once you realise what it is that you're creating, what as Jennifer are you creating now? What on the inside and also on the outside? The Earth Tom is going to bring back your value, bring back what you are learning to do, and that is self-empowerment and love. And what takes us away from self-empowerment and love? Thoughts of a negative nature, of going backwards and just chasing things that have no concern really in our love aspect. So here with the devil, allowing ourselves, you know the devil, I know you say that in your room all the time, and so I don't even have to mention those words, but because it's upside down, it's like, what can we release? What can we release? So the top and bottom about is the why. I believe that the why is a life lesson for you. The situation will happen again and again and again until you say to yourself, oh yeah, it's a lesson for me to learn that I should just love myself and concentrate on myself, because the more I stick with this card on this way, but really with that way, because at least if the devil's that way, you know about it and you can run away, but when it's reversed, you're stuck. So, as soon as the penny drops, as we say in England, as soon as the realisation is realised that the more attention, the more energy you're paying to this situation, the longer it's going to go on, and you'll never be free, because you know that with this particular card, the devil. So what did we say with this? We said you extinguish the outside force, the outside flame, to realise your flame is stronger on the inside, especially, Jennifer, if you create more of it. Being a magician is valued. Just because it's at the very start of the journey doesn't mean to say it's got less value than the world. This is immense. How many of us would love to do magic? Which we do every day. But, you know, the creativity and using all the elements to create something bigger, it's just a sign that you with your thoughts, you with your mind, you with your heart, you with your love, you with your physicality, spirit and soul can really flourish so well. So I've nagged you enough with that. So I've been putting these love cards on here. So let's move on from that, because I hope you can put that to bed now. You know, pair of scissors, cut off. Get Archangel Michael to do that. Right, so I'm going to do some love oracle reading for you, just to see what's going in your life about your situation, you and love in general. In your current situation, okay? In your current situation. So, what does Jennifer need to know in her current situation surrounding herself and in relationships? Right, let's have a card. Separation. So it's kind of not your current situation, it's this particular situation. To separate, to severe, get a sword, get some scissors and cut it off, because honestly it's two messages now. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Ooh, but I think that's still a flavour of this particular aspect myself. So separation for yourself is good. I've got Radleigh's other pack here. So these are really good angel answers. So let's see what Jennifer needs to know. So as you're listening to this, this is looping the future. What question is in your mind? See if this works or not. Jennifer, ask a question in your mind. What does Jennifer need to know as she listens to my voice? What does Jennifer need to know as she listens to my voice? What does Jennifer need to know as she listens to my voice? Right, Jennifer. Okay, pick a card, pick a card. Yeah, that one. Thank you. It says, ask for help from others. So if you trust people around you, you can always ask for help. So even if it just means taking the dog for a walk or asking help to help you in general. You know, I'm always here for you. If you want me, just ask. I wish you'd email me. Do you know what I mean? So we can privately talk or whatever. But ask for help, Jennifer. You're a marvellous person. You know it, and a lot of people know it. So where needed, ask for help. So Jennifer, I hope that made sense to you. And if it didn't, just ask. Right, lots of love to you. I'll see you on your lives. Take care.